Well, the union budget is right around the corner, and we get you some of the major wish lists according to Bajaj Broking, the key sector expectations, as well as the 3 key stocks that you should watch out for in this particular budget. Let's start with some of the key budget expectations in terms of sectors. In terms of banking, they have mentioned that they're expecting no favorable terms in terms of deposits to come in, but capital infusion for PSU banks as well as insurance companies will be something to watch out for. When you move on and look at the other key expectation from banking, they are expecting that the focus of the banking and the financial space will be on sectors such as cement as well as the metals, which haven't done too well over the last 2 years. Import duty changes to support any kind of domestic production will be something to watch out for, especially for the metal space, because we are expecting and hearing rumors as well in terms of some anti-dumping duties on metals coming from China. When you move on and look at the key other expectations from the infra space specifically, a key sector to definitely watch out for, capex allocation for roads and railways is something that's been standard. It's been increasing steadily over the last 6 to 7 years, and this time again it will be something to watch out for. Apart from that, announcements of any kind of large-scale projects according to Bajaj Broking, likely a new freight corridors will be something to watch out for as well. When you move on and look at specifically from the auto space, it is expected that the allocation for PM E-Drive and the auto PLI policy will be something to watch out for. Do note they've already announced the PM E-Drive scheme. It has reduced the subsidies over 25 and 2026 as well. Any kind of movement in that will be something to watch out for. Tax cuts as well as increased funding for Manrega will also be something. Apart from that, the Bajaj Broking expects is something to watch out for as well. Apart from that, any kind of tax break specifically on the housing loan interest as well as increased allocation for housing will be something to watch out for in terms of this budget as well. When you move on, look at some of the other key expectations such as from pharma as well as healthcare. Support for R&D will be something to watch out for through PLI schemes. There have been some PLI schemes and action on that aspect as well, with special focus on anti-diabetic as well as weight loss drugs, something that's gaining popularity, especially in the US and the developed markets. Any kind of move on that will be something to watch out for. Funding for, of course, the Ayushman Bharat as well as institutions such as AIMS is another key trigger according to Bajaj Broking. When you move on and also look at the defense space, another key sector in the budget has always been in the news. Any kind of capital allocation is something to watch out for. Initiatives boosting defense exports, and it has increased steadily to around 20 to 25,000 crores now, as well as increased procurement from domestic defense companies is something apart from that to watch out for as well. In terms of, apart from other measures such as support for the renewable energy initiatives is something else in the defense space as well. When you finally look at, the consumer sector, and that's been in a lull over the last, a year or so, the consumer staple companies also not reporting very strong results, and any kind of increase in digital taxes, in cigarette taxes specifically is one of the key triggers. Now brokerages have mentioned that this will be a key negative in distribution of legal cigarettes as well, because that can go down whenever there's an increase in tax. So ITC might be in focus. Higher allocation for PM Awas Yojana as well as other similar schemes is something to watch out for as well. In the consumer sector, apart from that, tax reliefs for the lower as well as the middle class group will increase consumption. There are some media reports speculating any kind of new, income tax percentage to come in, and that's always been in the news, but something to watch out for as well. When you move on and look at, the NBFC space, and that's been marred by expectations in this particular time frame, the microfinance piece is something that's been affected majorly, affecting earnings for all mid-sized banks, and reduction in the loan limit, enforcing the SARFAESI Act is something to watch out for. Apart from that, the credit guarantee schemes, as mentioned from the microfinance scheme and the sector, will benefit all the mid-sized small finance banks as well as the mid-tier private banks as well. So watch out for that. GST is expected to remain unchanged. There has been, the GST meet in December itself. So anything on that aspect will be, a wishful thinking, but could be something to watch out for as well. When you move on and look at, the oil and gas space, competition for LPG under recoveries is something to watch out for all these companies as well. And, finally, a couple of more to watch out for, going forward as well. But, we have some of the other stocks as well to watch out for. The first stock pick is Park Hotels. Now, the target price that Bajaj Broking is given is roughly about 235 rupees per share, 21% upside from the current market levels. It, of course, manages hotels across the owned lease as well as, the managed models as well. Apart from that, what Bajaj Broking mentioned is that the company currently has 34 properties, roughly 2,410 rooms. and has margins of roughly between 30 and 35% and really strong margins. We have seen, the whole hotel space being in focus, and stock prices have also corrected very firmly after the lull in the first couple of years post the pandemic. Stock also, the Park Hotels also has another food and beverage brand called Flurries. They operate kiosks, cafes as well as restaurants. So watch out for this. Is the first stock according to Bajaj Broking. The second one is DCX Systems. Now a defense play and a very strong one to say the least. They have a target price of 449 rupees per share, 24% upside from the current market levels. It's a big prominent play in the defense as well as the aerospace industry. And in FY24, the company reported 1,400 crores in terms of revenue. Is also expected to have margins of almost double-digit over the next few years. The current products does include subsystems, high-end assembly integration, as well as PCB, which is the printed circuit board assembly, and that's going to be one of the key products as well going forward. They have an order book about 3,500 crores, and any kind of updates in Q3 will be something to watch out for in this company as well. It's a long-term bet for Bajaj Broking, and that's in the defense space. Let's also look at the third stock as well. Eon Exchange is something to watch out for. It's a water treatment player. They have a target price of 780 rupees per share, 23% upside from the current market levels. Offers across products and services in the water treatment solutions, wastewater treatment, which is something under the Jal Jeevan mission of the government as well as sewage treatment that's been gaining a lot of interest in India now. They have been mentioning that this is one of the key stocks to watch out for in the water treatment space as well. When you finally look at the last part of the particular video, which is a major wish list according to Bajaj Broking in terms of capex, they are looking at emphasis on sectors like road, highways, defense as well as railways, something which is always in the news in terms of the budget. Apart from that, any kind of adjustment in terms of income tax policy is something to watch out for as well. In the middle class household, it will increase consumption and the consumer staples will be in focus apart from that as well. When you look at the third key, welfare scheme, that's one of the major wish lists according to Bajaj Broking as well. Increased job creation opportunities as well as upskilling, something to always watch out for in every budget. Expanding the scope of PLI schemes is something to another aspect across the sectors that will affect the players. It's a big boost to EBITDA margins in terms of PLI scheme for all the companies. Another key aspect to watch out for, and apart from that, continuing to simplify the capital gains tax is something to watch out for, because in the previous budget we did see the long-term capital gains getting reduced to about 12.5%, while the short-term has remained around 20%. But that's always a wish list for all kind of investors like you and me to reduce that kind of taxation on the profits as well. LTCG, I didn't mention, it's around 12.5% now. Any kind of reduction, that will be, of course, a very major wish list. Simplifying tax rules for bonds, stocks, as well as derivatives is another key aspect to watch out for as well. But what do you think of these measures by Bajaj Broking? Let us know in the comments below. And what is your major wish list as well to watch out for in this particular budget?